So I'm doing a new book nook, this time for an author, Rebecca Road, who is an excellent author, a USA Today best-selling author, a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, and she has a book coming out with Little Brown that is a pirate fantasy, and so she wanted a pirate ship. And I don't know the title of this book, but it is coming out next year. This is actually the fourth time that I have built a ship from scratch. I've built one from a model kit. I built the USS Constitution from a model kit. But this is the fourth time that I've built a boat just from the ground up. And I've learned a lot of things over the years. I've learned that you need the internal structure in there, and then you need something flexible to go around it. You can see I put the planking on it. I've got the cannons inside. But the first big boat that I built, you can see that the structure is going up. I'm really happy with how it looks. This is obviously not the full ship. This is kind of a sideways glance at it. This is the first ship that I ever built. This was about 12 years ago. I had just finished grad school and I was unemployed, and there was a parade coming up. And I volunteered to be the chief designer and chief builder for this ship for a parade, and I loved it. I threw myself into it. I worked on it 12 hours a day for a month. Here are some architectural details on it. This is all carved into XPS foam, just like I'm carving this boat into XPS foam. But this was my first foray into how to build a boat, and I learned the big things you need are structure for it, and then you need flexible boards that you can use to warp around to build the hull. And that lesson has served me well in all of the other boats that I've built. I've tried different materials. I've tried balsa wood. I've tried, this was masonite that I used on the big boat. But on the new project that I'm working on here, I used XPS foam, cut very thin. So now I'm painting the whole ship, painting it brown. The ship is going to have a very blue tint to it because it's going to be a night scene. It's going to be a starry night, and the whole thing is going to be illuminated very blue. So you won't see a lot of this brown. You won't see a lot of the detail even. It's going to be dimly lit, but that is good for a book nook. And so just painting up a ship. It's really nice when it comes together like this. When you get to, you can see the structure of it, and you can see, I mean, we got the rails going in, the handrails, the wood planks in, and it looks like a ship, and it looks like you're actually doing something good. And that is a nice feeling. So painting all of this in. Cannons are already in because I had to put them in before so that they would fit. And now a little touch up. And now it's time to paint the sky, and I decided to do the sky in a dark blue. You can see the lights that I have glued to the board there. They are the stars. And I had to do something weird with the stars because I wanted a starry night, but the lights have wires that go to them, and I was trying to find ways to hide the lights, and I could either do it two different ways. I could build the whole wall out of foam and hide the lights in the foam, or I could build clouds out of foam and use the clouds to mask the wires. And that's what I chose to do, and it is more of a kind of an artistic decision. The clouds that I ended up building are kind of Vincent van Gogh swirly starry night clouds, which you'll see here in a minute. Right now I'm just dry brushing the ship, making sure that it's all pretty, making sure that it's good. Okay, so now I'm building the clouds that go in, painting them blue. I'm gonna dry brush them in white, and they're going to go on the walls, and they're going to cover up some, not all, but some, you can see in there, some of the wires of those stars. And it is starting to come together, starting to look good. What I'm doing right here is that I'm putting in resin. I wanted there to be an actual resin ocean that this is floating in. And so I'm using 5-minute epoxy. I have, I think, 6 tubes of 5-minute epoxy. And squirting them into a cup. And this is a fast process because this stuff cures really fast. And it got incredibly hot to the point where it started smoking as it cured. And it made me very nervous that I was going to ruin the whole thing, but it turned out to work well in the end. And it's coming in drying really well, making sure that it doesn't spill and seep through the cracks. And there we have it. There's the resin. The orange piece of plastic in front of it is the block to make sure that the epoxy doesn't run out. But you can see I've put the pirates in. They're in their places on the ship. So now I'm using Mod Podge to create some waves. It'll dry clear with a little bit of ripple effect. But this is the book Nook. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Thanks so much for watching with me this week. Next week I've got another one coming for you. Actually, I think next week there might not be one, but we will soon see. So thanks for watching this one. I will see you next week. And stay safe and wear your masks.